Welcome, friends. Today, we're doing another live stream. It is just impossible. What's happening? Are we busy? What have you been up to? Oh, shit. Sorry. I am Phil. How are you? Excuse me whilst I put up the link. Not that link, though. So, how are we today? We are busy. What's happening? I'm not feeling too great, if I'm being perfectly honest. I feel a little bit fucking sickly again, to be honest. I don't think I'm gonna pop like I did the other day, but yeah. I don't know. Just give it a minute and wait for people to come in. Legoise just left a comment on my video yesterday, so I'm going to reply to him and see what's happening. Oh, dear me. What's some bad news this morning? A fucking parcel on the way from deepest Italy, all right? And it was supposed to be coming tomorrow. And at the weekend, they were like, oh, sorry, it's going to come on Wednesday. And then I got an email this morning saying, aha, sorry, it's not coming until Friday. And I was like, you bitch, you. Give me my parcel, you bastards. Oh. Somebody. I don't know why, but PayPal has started putting fucking payments from coffee on hold. I don't know why. And like, there's nothing I can do. I asked them, but they were like, no, sorry, there's nothing you can do. It's up to PayPal. So, fuck knows. PayPal probably just wants more fees. They can suck me fucking plums. But thank you. I think that was Shiva Vareen. Thank you, Shiva Vareen. You are too kind. I appreciate it greatly. I will try not to be sick on stream again. God, it's cold in this house. Oh, fuck. Don't drop your new phone, you dick. Looking into getting the new phone and shirt today. £7 a month? Oh. I'm well, and how is everyone? Hello, Shiva Vareen, how are you? American Pie. I saw your little video earlier. Do you know that the audio at the end of that video just dies? It just goes away and doesn't come back. I don't know if it does that for you or whether it's just me. But yes, it's not great. Not if you want to hear what you're saying, which I do. I always do. What up, Rich? What up, Jay-Z? How are you, Hove? Pradeep? Oh no, please. Oh yes. Oh yes. Depends what you're saying oh no about. Benji, welcome. Scent of the day is Lude by Tower. Lude by Tower. Smells like I've been working under a car all day. Outrageous. I got the rubber from it. Like, I got a huge rubber note from it. Smelled like a dirty grey tyre. Benji then says, new Tower released today. Outrageous. Golistan Extrait de Parfum. Had no idea. First I'd heard of it. So Ashton stopped doing, like, the news and fragrance, hasn't he? He used to do, like, fragrance news, but he hasn't done any recently. IT Post is one of the worst I have ever seen. What's that? It Post? What's that, Pradeep? I don't understand. Couldn't find plums. But here's some pears. I can't eat any pears. I can't eat anything. I feel fucking rubbish. Couldn't find plums, but here's some pears. I don't like pears. Pears are weird. I like the smell of a pear. But I'm not big on the actual taste of a pear. And they're a weird shape. PayPal is turning wretched. As soon as I pay off my balance at the end of November, I am deleting my account. Yeah, there's a lot of people going to do that, isn't there? I hope it makes them bring down their fucking, whatchamacallits? What do you call it again? Fees. Rich Mitch, happy Halloween. I will do Oh No What today, says Bob. Well, I've got a funny story about what I wore today. Pradeep says, Peter, what's Halloween dinner? Oh, it's frightening. Just don't. Everything Peter eats is awful. No, I did not know that. I'll check it out, says American Pie. But oh well. I was just rambling about some random BS. Yeah, that was the best part. I just had roasted pepper, red pepper, tomato soup, and garlic soup. Tomato and garlic soup. Shiva says they do it to make more euro off the interest. Microloans are lucrative. Yes, they are. PayPal is fining accounts $2,500 if they are found saying things opposing their beliefs. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Ashton is busy doing frags women love. Fucking fragrance isn't going to get you women. Women can love them, but they're not going to be like, ooh. That's the difference between men and women. Women have got slightly higher standards than men. Men are like, oh, that woman smells nice. I want to shag it. You know what I mean? Women aren't like that. Most women. Hello all, Duck Sir. Happy Halloween. Scent of the day is Black Afghano. Hello, Antonio Hobson. Welcome. Enrique says, hi, Rich. Hi, Enrique. Scent of the day is Fahrenheit Absolute. Good fragrance for today. I might wear that tomorrow. Bosque pears are lovely. Bartlett, not as much. I don't know what these pears are. Shiva says, Eugene, I'm only keeping my PayPal because that's how I order from European stores. After my MDCI haul goes through, I'm done with PayPal. I'm not going to use that word because I'll get attacked. Instagram randomly suspended thousands of accounts today. Randomly random, including mine, and restored in 2 hours. What the fuck? Yeah, it happened to loads of people. Happened to Peter, but unfortunately they let Peter back on. Didn't the Peter? Scent of the day is Le Deliric Ski, says Shiva. 12 sprays. I received many compliments while grocery shopping. How exciting my life has become. That Monday, you know. Afternoon, Anoush. Welcome. How are you? American Pie says, to be honest, I don't like getting compliments. It makes me feel more self-conscious as if they didn't compliment me at all. I feel like that dude that wears cologne. Yeah. Yeah. That cologne pie. Hello, Fragrance Journey, the goat. El Goat. Are you 50 foot in the air? I am wearing Javois Psychedelique, says Peter. I don't like it. Well, why are you wearing it? It gives me a headache. Well, stop that. It's not the world's greatest. Enrique says, Eugene, what are you wearing today? Any costume? I'm not wearing a costume. I am in my plain old feathers. Jack Dean, welcome. Hello, Arnold. How are you? Hi, all. Happy Halloween. Thinking of Salvador Dali, pour homme for my creepy scent of the day. Woo! Spooky. The ghosts aren't outside the window, which is making us even more, which is slightly more haunting than if they were, you know, on Halloween. You'd think they'd show up for Halloween. But no. Makes us feel like they're waiting somewhere, you know? I'm in Crystal ADP, says Eugene. No costume. Fernando says, hi there, beautiful people. Long live democracy. Right. Scent of the day, Santal Noble. 2 sprays is too little. 2 sprays is too little. 3 sprays is too much. Aha. One of them is it. It's shocking the stories that these frag bros make up in the comments, says Pradeep. Women followed me. My teacher smelled my neck, offered me dinner. Yeah, it is simply lies. It is simply lies for clout on the internet. That is just what it is. It's just for clout on the internet, isn't it? You know, some people say fucking anything. Like, Shiva says, yes, compliments make me feel odd. Unless it is a totally new fragrance. That's interesting. Mountain Pie says, have you ever had any paranormal or cryptid experiences over in the homeland? No. Although I did go through an exorcism last Thursday, if you were listening. Outrageously, right? I was actually back to the same place I went last week. Like, you know how I was out that week? I was out that day when I was, like, violently sick. I went back to the same place, took my friend back to the same opticians. And guess what I wore for my scent of the day? That's right. I wore Follow by Kerosene, a massive coffee fragrance. I didn't drink any, though. I probably would have had better luck drinking Follow than I would another cup of coffee. Goodness me. It is lovely, though, but the longer I've had this bottle of Follow, the longer I've had it, the more roasted the smell. You know, like the more, it's much more sort of, it's less coffee and more roasted bean. It's got that really blackened bean sort of, like blackened coffee bean sort of thing, almost like burned to a crisp, you know? Hold on, Mitch. Scent of the day is Davidoff by Davidoff, says Germs. Welcome, Germs. I shan't confide in you anymore, Pradeep, says Bob. Pradeep says, I am an Ambre Eternel, one of the 2 good Vassa Absolute d'Orient. I like Encens Mythique. I wore that the other day. Fucking brilliant when it rains. It's meant to be pouring down here tomorrow. So, that'll be fun. But yeah, I like Encens Mythique from that line. I liked Patchouli Ardent the first time I smelled Patchouli Ardent, I loved it. I thought this is fantastic. I'm buying a bottle of this. But I'm at the point now where I've started to not just sample a fragrance before I buy it, but like repeatedly sample it. you know? And after a while, I realised I'm sure it's got dry woody ambers in the base, because it started giving us this kind of headache feeling, but it wasn't a headache. It was more like a headache smell, you know? Ah, here is Jonathan. Welcome. And so I was like, no, I'm not going to buy this. And it's very strange to me that you can get heritage, we'll call it. And that fragrance is about, what, 20% the price of Patchouli Ardent? 10% the price? We'll go with 15, because, you know, we're reasonable like this. We like to meet in the middle. And, yeah. Heritage is a better fragrance than Patchouli Ardent, you know? Just is. Shiva says, justification of my purchase, I guess. It's pouring down in Birmingham the past hour or two, says Jack. Yes, I saw the weather. It's meant to be foul. It's going to be moving up into Peter's neck of the woods soon. On Sons is simply beautiful, says Bob. I'll believe anything if it was you, says Pradeep. Jonathan, welcome. John did another video yesterday, dropped it late on. Please go and watch. I dropped a community tab post today, pointing people towards it. American Pie says, Nikolai Patchouli Intense smells like Dijon mustard. Very mediocre house. I tend to agree. I don't think Nikolai's a very good, like, there's like one or two fragrances that I like, but there's nothing that I would buy. Do have some nice stuff, but it's just nice. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Pie also says you can find vintage heritage for less than Patchouli Ardent at discount. Yes, that's a very good point. That is a very good point. Big John the Undertaker, says Bob. He puts my collection 6 foot under. Lol. Good evening, Spaced Out. Oh, Spaced Out. I bought that Dior Homme Intense, you know. And then I said to the guy, I was like, oh, like my money will be clearing on Monday, as in today. And he was like, sound. And so he sent me his PayPal, and I sent him the money. And then I waited, and I was like, I messaged him at like 5 o'clock. I was like, oh, hi, have you got the tracking number? And he was like, sorry, I couldn't get to the post office today. My wife got a hold of us and made us do stuff. I was like, all right. And then he was like, I can't post it tomorrow either because it's a holiday in Germany. And I was like, oh. So he was like, I'll post it on Wednesday. And I was like, I am a little bit worried about that. But I needn't be. He's been on Parfumo for like 7 years, and he's got like 100% rating and everything like that. So I'm sure it'll be fine. I was just like expecting him to post it today, you know, but fudge. Spaced Out says to Bob, you have to try Ira's Ganache if you haven't. It's amazing. Ganache, says Bob. Pradeep says, one bro put a rare Poivre Samarkand for sale over retail. So naturally I looked it up, and looks, it's gone. Oh no. American Pie says, Jonathan, can I be put in your will? I'm going to be driving by you this evening. I am working in Morristown tonight. That's right, he's on the night shift, isn't he? Well, Eau d'Orange Vert to the gym. Raining now, so I might need to find something a bit heavier. See how it performs in the rain. Fernando says, Timbuktu smells like Dijon mustard. Have we found a pattern? I don't know, you just save yourself a lot of money and just cover yourself with Dijon mustard. It's probably been done. Is that right? Yes, Morristown is 5 minutes up the street, says Jonathan. Oh, Jura Rose is sending me pictures of fucking stairs. Strange young man. God almighty, it's not warm in this house. How is Encens Mythique? Can you describe it in 3 words? No. Sorry. I need more than 3 words. I've reviewed it, I think. Spaced Out says, nothing to worry about. I bought a lot of times on Parfumo, and sometimes the seller will include Haribo gummy bears along with the fragrance. Oh, that's nice of them. I remember I bought a couple of things off Dave, and he sent me some American hard candy. Now, I am not unappreciative, but American candy is not the greatest in the world. Sorry. I do appreciate the fact that like Americans make up like a lot of me audience, but American candy, hard candy, not great. I tried to chew it and my teeth nearly fell out. It was hard. When I said hard candy, I wasn't expecting it to be like hard. Felt like I was chewing a stone. Yeah. It was like these little, I don't know what they were called, but they were like little balls, little ball bearings, I think they were. I think they were just painted fucking metal ball bearings, to be honest with you. Sheba says, patchouli intense caused me to have an anxiety attack. Oh dear. So I no longer shrug my shoulders when I hear about people having headaches and other weirdness from fragrances, perspectives, and experiences. Yeah, you don't want a panic attack, do you? Not from fragrances. Produce says Hermes has never discontinued these many perfumes so soon. Looks like Nigella is going to replace the full Hermes Essence line. What's happening here, Produce? What do you mean? What's been discontinued? What have they got rid of? What's happening? She hasn't got rid of Vetiver. She hasn't got rid of Vetiver Tonka, has she? Because I might have to back that up if that's the case. I've got like 200 mils of that and I'm thinking about backing it up. It's sensational. Because when I wear that, I put like 10, 15 sprays on. It's magnificent. You can't wear too much of that shit. Anu says, I wore the Deliric ski for a meeting this morning and it went damn well. All credit goes to the Les Abstrait. Nice. I finally got, I paid a Nuge off today and I felt great. There's definitely something about like paying off like your debt. That you're just like, oh, get off my brain. You know what I mean? It's like you don't even think about it. I can't understand how people can go around with mortgages and shit like that. That shit would drive me wild. Wild. Bob says American Pie gonna stalk a man's cologne collection. Called the Good Old Police. Jonathan says, I do need to find someone to be the beneficiary of my collection. My nephew couldn't give a shit. I'm coming for you next, Bob, says Pie. Poivre Samarkand is gone, says Pradeep. Is there anything else? Jonathan says, I still need to grab that of a Tonka. It is brilliant. You're right. Yeah, it is fantastic. I really like it. John, have him bring some takeout. On that note, I'm going to the bathroom already. I should have gone before I started. Ooh. I've been drinking a lot of water these last couple of days. I will not tell a lie. Oh, my spine. I'm not going to be sick, though. Oh. Well, 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 look who it is. It's me. I am going to... What am I going to? I'm going to take some tablets. Because it's that time of evening. That time of evening, not that type of evening. I bought a candle today. I don't know if you can hear us. I bought a candle today. It is one of the Diptyque Christmas candles, and it is called Sapin. Sapin or Sapin. It is their pine candle, and it is fucking glorious. I got it last year. I think it's one of the only ones they release every year. Excuse me. I also need to take some vitamin C, vitamin me, vitamin C. I also need to take my cod liver oil. And an antihistamine. Don't ask. Oh. Out. Right. Where are we? Oh, God. Excuse me. So, do you have any migraine triggers from your collection? No, or I would get rid of them. Thank you, Miles, says Peter. We could hear your piss hitting the water, Rich. Nice flow for his pearl. That is right. Hi, Peter. Just received your sample set. Looking forward to smelling your collection. Michael, we are all waiting to hear what you are wearing, costume as well as fragrance. For my apocalypse preparedness, I brought 3 MDCMIs, 3 Ducitas, and 3 Papillons. I'm all set. Ooh, did you buy them today? Which 3 Papillons did you get? Michael says, today I'm dressed up as a perfume whore. Scent of the day is OE by Bogwe. Good evening, Dushan. How are you? Greetings from Serbia. Which one, Shiva, says American Pie. Hello, Justin. How are you? He is wearing scent of the day. Pakaraban Porom. Good scent. Hello, Dushan. Your scent of the day is Mitsuko. Revisiting Charles Jourdan Un Homme. Forgot how nice. It is a good fragrance, that, actually. Shiva got a couple of backup Chypre Palatin, La Barbe de Tangier, and La Inde Galantes at Silk Road bottles. All Silk Road bottles. But Shiva, which Papillon did you get? Which ones were they? Oh. Shiva, all great ones. I really like Les Indes Galantes. A nice French take on a gourmand. My friend is in Vienna now. Anyone wants any Chypre Palatin from there? Interesting. Can you not get it just online? Matrax is scent of the day, Chypre Siam by Rogue. Bravo, Matrax, says Dushan. Oh, sorry. So yes, today I got myself a Diptyque candle And I got... What else did I get? I got a few samples from Frederick Mall. That was about it. I got some of the bigger samples, you know, the 3.5 mil. So there was nobody on the Frederick Mall counter. So when I bought the diptyque candle, the lady was like, "Oh, sorry, I can't give you any diptyque samples because we haven't got any." And I was like, "Well, thanks." And then I was like, "Oh, have they got any uncut gem samples over on the Frederick Mall counter yet?" And she was like, "I don't know. Let's go and have a look." So we went and had a look, and there wasn't, but she did give me some samples of some other stuff. And she didn't accidentally, but she gave me some of the, do you know, like the old 3.5 mil samples? She gave me some of those. So I took them instead, which was nice. And one of my favourites, Matt Tracks. Thoughts on Shipra Palatan reformulation, says Pranav, sorry. I haven't got any thoughts because I don't know anything about it. I've smelled it, but I can't remember it. Shiva bought Anubis, Salome, and Dryad. Not Tobacco Rose. I quite like Tobacco Rose. I think that's a good... I think that's a good little fragrance, actually. I am liking Queer Garamante from MDCI. Might pick up a bottle, says Pradeep Sakar. Do you know, I think I did a first impressions on that when I got my sample set from Javois. Didn't like it enough to buy it. American Pie says it has not been reformulated. Shipra Palatan has not been reformulated, says American Pie. So that's that. Now we know. Please don't hurt me. Matrax says, still want to try Invasion Barbar from MDCI. I heard it's a lot like Casanova by Histoires de Parfum. Alan Hansen, welcome. Alan Hansen says, my partner wears Queer Garamante. I like L'Homme aux Gants. L'Homme aux Gantes. Or Gants, a bit better. Shiva Varun says, Pradeep, I debated on Queer Garamante, but since I ordered Anubis, I passed. The issue here is winter might be cold, might be 6 weeks cold, and leather fragrances feel like overkill. Might be 6 cold weeks. Sorry. It's already cold here. It's in single digits already. It's not even November. It's in November in about 3.5 hours' time, you know. Oh. Hello, fellow frag fiends. Scent of the day, blackmail by kerosene. Perfectly sweet and smoky for today's holiday, says Alan. I wore a kerosene today. It was Follow. I'm interested to try Followed as well. Shiva says, I've not smelled Tobacco Rose, but I want the entire line for my ego's sake. You're a completionist. Pranav says, I have Shipra Palatan 2021. It lasts 20 minutes on my skin and has a light orange colour. Something is up, even if there's no reformulation. Oh dear. Excellent fragrance, Alan, says Jonathan. American Pie says, I have spoken to Claude several times and he has defended at length that it has never been reformulated. He has been seeking legal action against the review, saying that it was reformulated. Who reviewed it and said it was reformulated? Outrageous. That'll be a first. Alan, do you want a cup of follow? Says Dushan. Alan says, Jonathan, I'm enjoying your videos. As I've not been watching on the computer or phone, I've not commented. Sorry. Merrick Pie says, you could be going nose blind, Pranav. The colour of the juice is a dye that is put in after the scent is created. No worries, Alan. Thank you, my friend, says Jonathan. Oh. What are we doing? It's 25 Celsius here. I'm in a t-shirt and shorts, says Shiva. Jesus Christ. I mean, at the most, it's about 10 here. If that. That is quite warm, actually. Especially for, like, November. Early November, late October. You know? That is extremely warm. 25 Celsius is like a warm summer's day here. That would be like if you were to get like 25 Celsius 3 days in a row, it'd be a heat wave. People would be struggling. I'd be struggling. Alan says, Dushan, a cup, as in 8 ounces, 16 tablespoons, 48 teaspoons. Fernando says, Kafkaesque has a post about the reformulation of Chypropolitan. Claude was really angry in the comments section. Ooh. Who's Claude? Dushan says, Alan Hansen, it is a very good coffee fragrance. Lego East. Evening all. Listening in the departure lounge of Charles de Gaulle Airport. Flight delayed after a 14-hour flight from Japan. Ooh. Nightmare. Did you buy any of the fragrances when you were over there? Because they've got some outrageous vintage stuff. Pradeep says, has Sans Unique stopped giving discounts? Was thinking of picking up some Les Indomables. I don't know. Matrax says, anyone try anything from January Scent Project? I have got the January Scent Project sample set sitting in a chest of drawers, and I'm gonna go through them in January. Fernando says Claude is MDCI's owner. Oh. Ah, yes, followed by kerosene. Now I understand. Yes, where's that one as well? AW says, I hate moving. Trying to keep these bottles from not breaking is a hassle. Peter Cotton. Alan, how does blackmail differ from follow? Hello, Peter Cotton. Carpe Cafe by Gallagher is a wonderful coffee, says Jonathan. Many and amazing prices, all in top-notch condition. Well, I hope you got me something. Is Awake a good coffee perfume? Yes. Michael Harness said, someone said that Tiffany for Men is still available in other countries. Is this true? I don't know, but I've got a tester bottle that I'd be willing to part with. But unfortunately, Michael, I can't send it to you. Jonathan says, Japan is a treasure trove of great fragrances and great prices, says Jonathan. Yeah, the emphasis on the great. as in great, as in massive. There's a bottle of Bois Noir over there for $1,500 at the minute. That is a lot of money. Alan says, Peter, Follow is a coffee fragrance and Blackmail is a sweet smoking oud fragrance. And Matrax likes a lot of Gallagher frags. Really unique. Lego East says, actually, there were two Bois Noir. One partial for 256 and a boxed for something like 512. Good grief. That is quite outrageous. Jonathan says, I was referring to in a country vintage hunting. I've heard for very cheap. Oh, I've seen for very expensive. The stuff I've seen on sale in Japan's been expensive as all chips. Like, extremely expensive. Michael says, send it marked as lotion and gift like a Nuge does. I've tried that before, mate. What frag has the most realistic cannabis notes is Matrax. There aren't any that I've smelled. There are none that I've smelled. MJ, welcome to you. Scent of the day is Ambra Supreme. When I go next year, let me know what you're searching for, says Lego East. Nice. Expensive, yes, to outside markets and buyers. Out of country, says Jonathan. Oh. Michael says, Matrax, just buy an ounce of weed. Pradeep says, surprisingly not a lot of vintage frag shops in France. Do you know, that doesn't actually surprise us. I'll tell you why, because the French go through, like, use their perfumes. You'll find that most vintage, like, lots of places where there aren't, like, loads of vintage perfumes, like, where there aren't any, is where that people actually use their perfumes up, you know? So the fact that France burns through its perfume doesn't surprise us. Pranav Shkula says, I saw that review, but Claude's defensive response to the genuine impressions and reactions of people does not prove that there is no change. I'm sure Disher 4 hasn't changed the formulation, but I'm certain that the 2015 batch of oak moss has no resemblance to the shadow of what is there in the 2020-21 versions I've smelled. Lego East, you're going to Japan, says Dushan. He's just come back. It's my guess that Japan is loaded with vintage Chanel bottles gifted to women and hardly used or opened. Chanel is the brand, says Bob. Peter Cotton says, I'm not big into oud fragrances. That is more of an old man's thing. Do you reckon? Lego East says, exactly, Jonathan. What gets sold by from Japan, the markup is horrific. Yikes. Alan says that he resembles that remark. Lol. Mr. Harness, Jonathan, Dusan, Bobby. Blonde Anouge. Blonde Anouge? Not sure about that. Oh! So I've set up this Parfumo account, right? And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it's a bit fucking daunting having to add all your perfumes at once. You know? Like, the idea of having to add like 400 different perfumes all at once, terrifying, horrifying, electrifying. You better shake up. Even so, 2 bottles of Antonia's flowers and Nombre Noir, 60 mils. Woof. I also ship out of the country using sample auto parts or cosmetic samples. They're not as shit hot as they are in Britain, mate. I've tried it a few times, trying to send stuff to Ramsey, and it just wouldn't work. Just doesn't work, Michael. You know? Sorry, mate. I'd send it if I could. How is Umbra Supreme on your skin? Very shape-shifting and meek on my skin. Undeniable ambergris, though, says Pranav. Jonathan says, Lego East, can you get fragrances out of country and luggage? Yes, you can. Even I know that. How many mil can you get in your luggage? Says Dushan. Oh, you could fill a suitcase with it, I think. Depends how big your suitcase is, doesn't it? You know? Ah. Ah. Pranavid's amazing on my skin. Yeah, it's pretty amazing on my skin as well, actually. I really like it. Right. I highly recommend it to you. Oops. Oh. I ain't going. Give us a minute. I'll be back. I am returned. Sorry, I need to get another tissue there. Excuse me. What are you snorting? I'm not snorting anything. Quite the opposite. I'm trying to clear a passage. Oh dear. Oh. Changed my bed today. You know, one of the hardest things in the entire world to do when you've got a bad back? Just fucking change the duvet cover. Absolute nightmare. MJ says, Dushan, I usually have several 100ml bottles ain't checked in my luggage. Jonathan says, moving from Florida to Tennessee a few years back, I packed nearly 50 fragrances on my luggage. I didn't have much to wear clothing-wise for a while. Wesley asks, what are you snorting? I am simply blowing. That's a good question, Dushan. I have to take a flight soon, says Sheila. Keeping the boxes comes in super handy when transporting, says Bob. Yes. Dushan says, MJ, that's great. My friend from America will come to Serbia next summer, so I just want to know how many fragrances he can bring to me from the States. Expensive place to buy from perfume in America, you know. I'd rather buy it from Europe and take it to America. Just playing with you, Rich. I know. How the heck are you? I'm okay. I am Phil. How are you? I hope you are well. It's my birthday on the 3rd of November. Happy birthday, Michael. I think it's Peter's birthday on the 3rd of November as well, from Fragrance View. I think we should all sing happy birthday to Peter. He'd enjoy that. If anyone has a bottle of Tiffany for Men they want to send me for less than the eBay price, well, if I was going to send it to you for your birthday, mate, I'd just give you it. But unfortunately, I cannot cheap. Wipe that icing sugar off your beak. Oof. I think it would just make us sick if I was to do such a thing. Jonathan says, I travel quite often with many fragrances without issue. Sometimes I'll find those inspection tickets inside the case. Yeah. Do you not lock your cases, though? You could just pick them, to be fair. They just want to know that you're not moving illegal substances, you know. Legoise says, yes, I've come back with 8 bottles myself. The selling process is complicated as is everything over there. Need a Japanese phone number and address. The packaging amazing, second to none, absolutely. Wesley says, just dealing with open enrollment crap. What's that? Went through a lot of icing sugar in the 80s, lols. Here's Michael. Jonathan says, I heard they'll pull you out of line and delay you if you lock it, so I can't be bothered. Just hold the plane up. You know what I mean? Not like that. I don't mean actually like hold the plane up. I mean like, you know, just like hold up everybody on the... No. I just mean like, you know, delay the plane is what I'm saying. Don't hold them up, Jesus. Pradeep says, I was legit considering flying to Cape Town to get some vintage frags, but their visa system is catastrophic. Yeah. Jesus. Cape Town. I didn't know Cape Town was a hub for vintage fragrances. I mean, Justin lives in, I think he lives in Cape Town. Or he lives in South Africa, I think. But I don't know, you'd have to ask him. There's a sale on 50ml tobacco oud for €200, but I haven't smelled it. €200 for 50ml of tobacco oud? Good grief. That is not cheap, mate. So I'm wondering if I should just get a Bois d'Assis by Naomi Goodsir, which I really like. Thoughts? Well, I've got both. I've got both. I would probably pick tobacco oud, but that's because I love it so much. And Product says, is there a good vintage store in South Africa? I have no idea. I've never left the Northern Hemisphere. I think that's the way it's going to stay, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I'm probably never going to leave the country again. At the rate I'm going. Jesus. Jonathan says, yes, I'd love to vacation in Italy, just a vintage hunt. Yes, get like a 6-month visa or something like that, and just like buy an old Italian bike, just like an old Fiat. Just drive around Italy. Tushan, you mean in Milan? I think just Italy, really. I found a really good one in Naples called Parfumo di Lauro. I beg your pardon. Yo, Mitch. Yo, DJ. How are you? New tower. Yes, I've already heard. Planet Brad. Uh-huh. Hello, Planet Brad. How are you? I haven't seen you before. What's happening? How are you? Hope it's not a sugar bomb, says DJ. Heart stuff? What do you mean heart stuff? I hope you're all right. Just returning delayed in Paris, says Lego East, sampling some Celines to pass the time. Get some samples of those Celines. I'll sort you out. If you can get samples of them, mate, I'll pay. Not very much, though, but a little bit. Also, Vetiver Bourbon's in the sample set. Well, DJ, I got a sample set of all of Hearts. Sorry, Planet Brad's completely kerfuffled us. Vetiver Bourbon, I got a sample set of all of the Paused Empire. So I have those now, which is nice. And included in that is Vetiver Bourbon. So that's good. Good evening, Keith. Manly Sense. How are you? I hope you are well. Planet Brad says, tutorials are my favorite ducks. Lightning Planet. What's happening, Brad? You're all right there. Nice plan to get the whole set myself, says DJ. Yes, I am going to try and burn through these Affinescents in the next couple of days, because that's the next sample set that I'm going to be doing, and then I am going to move on to either Filippo Sorcinelli or what's the other one I'm going to move on to? I am going to move on to these Parfum d'Empire, because I am actually quite looking forward to using them. I'm going to do the January scent project. I did it like a couple of months ago. I can't believe it's been 2 months now. I did a poll about which sample sets I should be featuring next. And Santa Maria Novella won. Then it was Eldo. Then it was the January scent project. Then it was Affinescence. So I'm going to skip January scent project and do them in January because it just feels right. But after January, before then, I'm going to try and get through a couple of other ones. See if between now and the end of the year I can get through the, see if I can get through the Parfum d'Empire. Yes, Peter Cotton. And then going to follow rabbits. I need some head. It's kind of weird. God sent me. He says hi. Ask him why I keep feeling sick all the time. Fucking shithouse. Hungry for traffickers. It's kind of weird. In the UK, says DJ, we'll sample Tower when it's out in the UK. Sorry, DJ, I'm reading your messages in the wrong order. And then, Peter Cotton. I think Peter Cotton's the only person who got it. And then, Skibby. You have my attention, Planet Brad. Says Michael. Giggity. The tank already have the new tower in USA, says DJ. Well, that's not fair. How come we haven't got it? And who the hell's the tank? Les Centers is the contractor, the Americans. The Les Santos is the contractor for tower in this country. They've got a monopoly, which I don't particularly agree with, but there we are. So we have to buy ours from there. That said, 166 Swiss francs for the new tower, is it? Great googly moogly. That's a lot of money. I don't know what the Swiss francs up to these days. Two chances, but it's worth. Is it? I have a shop called Essenza Nobile in Germany who have always been bloody great with me. So I will see if they stock it. And I am going to be seeing if they stock it right now. What was it called again? Ah, sod it, we'll just put tower in. Phthalo Blue, Atar, Tower Flash, Cologne de Maghreb, Orange Star, Incense Rose, Rose de Kandahar, Incense Extreme, Lone Star Memories, Maroc Porel, L'air des Alpes Suisse. Nope, I don't have the new one anyway. I've got Sundowner. Sundowner's alright, but I'm not fuck paying that. It's got this kind of weird, slightly sickly kind of note. DJ says, if the new one's a sugar bomb, I'll be sad. Why do you keep asking if it's a sugar bomb? I don't think it will be. I mean, he's never gone in that direction before, like anywhere near that direction before. To be honest, there's probably room in the line for one. It was called Le Slop de Toppy. Stop that. Got a test. Sounds like they'll be very femme, says Pradeep. Got in touch with my French friend from Japan, actually. Getting myself another couple of bottles of Egoist Cologne Concentrate. Because that shit you cannot have enough of. Although he did sell my very rare Fahrenheit Summer Cologne. Like Summer Cologne 07 or 06 or something like that. It is very, very rare. And he sold it because he was like, look, I didn't think I'd be able to sell it to you, so I sold it to someone else. I was like, well, fair enough. But he was like, look, I'll sell you these Cologne concentrates a bit cheaper so that... Planet Brad, you are making strange noises in my chat. What's wrong? Are you okay? I didn't care for Sundowner, to be honest. Says Germs. No, I wasn't big on Sundowner. Like, I liked it. And then I didn't like it. And then I did like it. And then I thought, I'm not really that arsed. You know? So when you say I didn't care for Sundowner, like, yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I didn't really, like, you know, I was like, eh. You don't see people going mad for it online, do you? You got some of the, like, the Tower diehards. I mean, I'm a bit of a Tower diehard. I've got, like, 5. You know what I mean? Shiva says, Evanescence, I can't wait. I'm extremely interested in that brand. I'll have to wait and see what I think. James, Sundowner is pretty good, says Dushan. Fosco says, I am here for the big duck energy. Well, I am a big duck, although I don't have any energy. So, you know, so I'm usually pretty tired. Shut up, Brad. Herod. Naxos. Shite. Pradeep. Don't be silly. What is a proper tobacco fragrance? I mean, Fade on Tobacco Rouge is nice, but the more I'm wearing it, like the sweeter it's getting, you know? It's becoming very sweet. Like I said today, I wore Kerosine's Follow, right, today, and it was a lot more roasted than it was. Like, there was, like, you know that smell of, like, burned coffee bean? It had this, like, it seemed a lot more bitter than it had been before. It seemed like, have you ever tasted a coffee bean? Just a coffee bean, like a roasted coffee bean. Like, just the bean. Like, put one in your mouth. Imagine that. That's what it smelled like today. I was like, wow. I was like, that's either, like got some air in the bottle and has, like, opened up a lot, or my nose has changed. It's been a while since I've worn it, which is true. Pradeep, vintage Shergi. Yes, Shergi's a great tobacco fragrance. I've got loads of tobacco fragrances. I don't know why I'm fucking struggling. I'd like to see Chanel do a tobacco fragrance, but I can't see them ever doing it. Tobacco Reserve's a great... Yeah, but that's like a green leaf. That's like a green tobacco fragrance, isn't it? But that might have been what Pradeep meant. I really like that, though. Jonathan's absolutely nailed it. Like, Naxos is not cute, Dusan. Don't say that. Don't encourage people, because people will take that and they'll say, "See, it's a good fragrance," because people will trust your opinion. Product says Dushan Shergi has a lot more going on, in my opinion. For me, Shergi's more of an iris hay kind of note than it is tobacco. Volutes is a good tobacco fragrance. Fosco says, don't kill me. I'll try. Don't kill me, but I like Rouge and Manhattan, although they just got a cease and desist from Bond number 9. Why do Bond keep suing people? They're fucking right shite hawk. The person who fucking... Stop suing people. So you can fucking deal with it. Fosco, I love Manhattan, says Jonathan. I don't hate you for it. I might watch over you while you sleep for a few nights, but I'm not gonna kill you or anything like that. Tobacco Taboo is very good. I just wore it yesterday, says Fosco. Who makes Tobacco Taboo again? Pat Lester says, hello, Rich. Scent of the day, Chypre Azural. What's your scent of the day? Today I wore Follow by Kerosene. And I need to get in touch with Rulia White, because Rulia White has got the distribution thing for kerosene in this country, and I need to see if they've got Followed. That'll be interesting. Tobacco Taboo by Santa Maria Novella. All right. Oh, sorry. I've read that. Scent of the Day is Mitsuko, says Dushan. Atman Zaman is a nice tobacco, says DJ. That is a Lorenzo Villarese, is it not? I tried that. I've got that sample set. I need to finish that one off, actually. I only tried about 4 of them. I was wounded when they didn't have patchouli in it. I just bought it anyway. Pure Havana, says Fernando. Now, Fernando, calm down. That is trolling. Someone has come here just to be a rascal. Peter Cotton says, I like Follow. One of my top autumn fragrances. Yeah. Enrique says, which deep tea candle did you mention early in the live stream? So I will put it in the chat. Sapan candle. There it is. I put it in the chat. Ashton reviewed Late Harvest from Fortin Manley Tobacco, it seems, says Pradi. Atman Zaman is nice and rugged and doesn't have that disgusting sweetness that's in popular tobacco scents. That's Late Harvest. Sounds very nice, doesn't it, says Jonathan. Pradi says, yes, tobacco front and centre, not a supporting note. Oof, I don't know how to go through them now. Aqua de Cuba by Santa Maria Novella, says Fernando. All the Santa. The thing is with Santa Maria Novella, you can guarantee that they're going to be well made. Right, quality stuff. It's just whether you're going to actually like the smell. That was like all the ones I smelled were all good, but I wasn't going to buy any of them. The iris is quite nice, but it's like a floral iris. It's got this kind of pollen. You know, pollen. When you smell pollen in the air and it gets up your nose and it like tickles your nose a little bit. I don't mean that iris petals and iris flowers don't have a smell, because apparently they do. I've been told this by someone in the comments on one of my videos, and I was like, ooh, because they were like, oh, here's somebody else with the myth that like iris don't have fucking smelly flowers, and I was like, oh, sorry. But it's got that kind of floral, like, you know how like iris butter and like a lot of irises are waxy, whereas iris like Lerice by Santa Maria Novella isn't waxy at all. It's floral. It's like petally. It's like pollen. It's like the smell of flowers on the wind. Bond is a clone house that sues, according to Matrax. Duck is on the Bond number 9 to sue list. I wish they would fucking stop suing people. It's a terrible look. It's a terrible look. It makes them look guilty for such, you know what I mean? Like, it makes them look, it's like you ever heard the saying, methinks the lady doth protest too much. That's like, when somebody complains that much and that loudly and that publicly, it's like, what are you hiding? Now, I remember when did she not fucking, I'm saying she, did they? Because I don't know if it's a man or a woman or anything in between. But didn't they sue Sebastian and like get his fucking one of his channels taken away or something silly like that? That was bad, you know? Isn't that the Flaccid Penis brand? Philon of Tobacco Taboo. Philidon. You're thinking of Phadon. I don't know what that means, JJ. You're going to have to clear that up, mate. Fernando Milan nailed it on Aqua de Cuba. It's glorious, says Fosco. Sorry, man. I just added like a British twang there. Fosco and 8 years ago. Jesus Christ. Sorry. That was appalling. I'm not proud of that. Bond number 9 are very litigious. Larice loves a lawsuit, says Peter. Oh, welcome, Peter. American Pie says, does Diptyque make a candle that smells like oud pilau? No, but they do an oud candle and a rose candle. So you could burn them together, but the oud isn't quite as like outrageous as it is in oud pilau. You should smell the lavender candle though. Good God. It is incredible. It's if you like lavender. It's beautiful. Nice, Manly. I just pulled it out to sample, says Jonathan. Well, hope you're doing that behind closed doors. Scent of the day, Charles Jourdan. Oh, right. I reckon Frederick Marr would do a proper tobacco. Well, I would have agreed with you until about 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. All right, Frederick. Oh, sorry. No, I have the first black label, says Jonathan. How old are you, Rich, says Peter. I have just turned 37. How old are you, Peter Cotton? Pradeep says Peter, he's 69. Giggity. I mean, 60. 69, very sexual years. JP Music says, Scent of the Day. Welcome, JP. How are you? Avernia by Ormond Jane. Have you smelled it? Ormond Jane's take on oak moss. I have smelled it, and I wasn't huge on it. I think it's because I have been spoiled as far as oak moss is concerned. I'm sure it's a very nice oak moss fragrance. I'll tell you what else. Ormond Man by Ormond Jane has got a lovely juniper note at the top. It is fantastic. Wood smell. Jonathan, I heard the first one was glorious. Fosco, it really is, and now that I've had it for a while, it really is opening up. Bond number 9 is a mirror of their consumer-based tatty and tasteless, says DJ. Kinda. Larice from Bond number 9 used to work for Creed. Oh, that would explain the shysterness. Purple irises have a grape smell to me, says Michael. They used to distribute for Creed, says DJ. I agree. Goes back to the old Solomon's wisdom story. What do you mean, American Pie? Yes, Rich, be careful with the pronoun before suing. Would love a grape Hubba Bubba perfume, says Peter. Big grape. DJ says, Peter, Folkwing Cloud something. Wait, never mind, that ain't grape. Uncut blur, says DJ. American Pie says, I feel like an eggplant. I've been searching my email for the past 30 minutes looking for an MDCI email about sheep Rapalatan, and my email only goes back to 2021, but the formula codes haven't changed. Sheep Rapalatan, Timbuktu, and Jubilation 25, my holy trio from Duchefort. Nice. I like Duchefort. Timbuktu and Jubilation, fabulous fragrances. I think Duchefort did Avignon, didn't he? I really like Avignon. I like how it dries down slightly ambery, slightly vanillic, slightly soft. Everyone says Sheep Rapalatan has been reformulated, says Peter Kikoran. We've had this out. It's been going backwards and forwards. JP says, you being so quick with the comments feels like a stressful time at the supermarket. Sorry. Oh, the light's too bright. Have you got that trolley that pulls with like one wheel to the side? Have you tried Nila Vermeer? You mean a sugar? Says Dushan. I was watching a bottle of Jeu de Peau. Was a sealed bell jar bottle. And I was watching it on eBay. And it had gone, the starting bid was 50 quid. And over like the course of the week, it got up to like 85. And I thought, do you know what it is, right? It's fucking 85, right? And there was also a bottle of, it wasn't a bell jar, this one. This was like an older, like one of the old bottles of, like, you know, the tall, thin glass ones. Like a vintage normal Surge bottle. And that was a bottle of Louvre. And I was bidding on them. And it got to like the last minute, and I decided to bid up to like fucking, I bid up to like 80 quid on the Louvre, and I lost. And I bid up to something like 105 quid on the bell jar of, I bid up to 105 quid on the bell jar of Jeu de Peau, right? And it was the winning bid with a minute to go. The bell jar sold for 225 quid. I was like, what the fuck? People really wanted that perfume, like really wanted it. I was like, somebody's going to pay that kind of money for it. Like, the best thing to do is just get out that way before they go through you to get it, you know? I know absolutely nothing, but is it possible the formula can remain the same, but the source of materials can change, says James? I don't know. It's possible. I don't know that, though. I imagine when they change the materials, they've got to reformulate it because it's not the same. You know? It's just not. Everything but the new stuff. I thought you did try. I thought you did everything for them, says Pradeep. Everything but the new stuff. I think you did one with the new scent, remember? Thanks. Last time talking about tobacco, I promise, says Fernando. Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme has a nice tobacco. It does have a nice tobacco. Very peculiar. Spaced Out says, is Louvre worth trying? It looks way too similar to Rahat Lakoum. Louvre's, if it wasn't in that bottle, I wouldn't buy it. It's simply because Serge Luton, it's Serge Luton, isn't it? So I wanted one of those bottles, but I wouldn't pay anything above what I bid for on that, but I wouldn't pay anything more than 80 quid for it because I don't particularly like it. It's got a touch of, it's got that like sweet cherry almond thing going on. I'm not overly familiar with it, you know. I just kicked myself thinking that 5-6 years ago, all those previous style Serge Luton bottles were going for like 50 and 60 quid on like Notino and fucking All Beauty and stuff like that. And now they're like 3 times the fucking price. And that's like, oh. I haven't found a Serge for me yet, sadly. You may never find one, mate. You may never find one. I need Timbuktu on my fragrance table. It originally was one of the samples I had. Says Shiva. I keep forgetting. Michael McDonald's face. That's a good question, says Fernando to James. Jeu de Peau is still floating around here for 50, 60 euros for 50 mil. What, in the old bottles? Hello, Kasim. Oh, yeah. Remember, Mitch, no one cares till it's gone. Oh, that's odd, isn't it? You imagine the prices those Serge are going to be when he croaks. You know what I mean? There's already a cult around him. You know? Not like an actual cult, but like his perfumes are culty. You know? Like people genuinely like go out of their way to like seek out his fragrances. I go out of my way to seek out his fragrance. I wonder if I could get any Serge Lutons from my friend in Japan. He'll want fucking bonkers money for them. JP Music says, I meant stressful time in regards to when you're the only one at the supermarket putting stuff on the conveyor belt and have to run to get everything packed at the other end. Aha! My friend was talking about that today. There's a shop called Aldi. I think they've got it in Germany as well. Of course, that's where they're from. And She was like, she doesn't like shopping at Aldi because you have to put the stuff on the conveyor belt and then you just have to get to the other end of the thing and start packing as fast as the cashier can like scan them, and it's a bit of a nightmare. Germ says, yeah, I'm lucky to have all the surge that I do, but I can't wear them as often as I'd like to. They're not an easy wear. Unless you are very, very surge oriented. And I love my surge, but I'm not that surgy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not that. Like, the Surge is more like Serge Lutens could have been a lifestyle brand, and it would have been very niche. It would have been very niche. You know? I imagine he's massive in Japan, though. I've just thought of that because of obviously with his connection with Shiseido. So I could ask. I will ask, actually. I will ask, goddammit. Kazim, going to Saudi Arabia tomorrow. Oof. Hot. Hoping to sample some oud and amber oils. Amber oils? Oud oils, yes. Amber oils. Such as? DJ said, friend of mine had Nombre Noir, said it was an average scent at best, but people asking crazy money for it. Yeah, it's the whole story around like the perfumer and the perfume being cursed and all of that sort of thing. And then it being called the Black Number and everything like that. You know, it's just one of those things, you know. It's a cult following now, not as hyped as like a decade ago, and no great releases. No, you're right, it is a cult following, and they're not as hyped. And the thing is that Christopher Sheldrake almost exclusively works for Chanel. Now, I imagine that's part of the gig, you know, but he's been at Chanel for 15 years. Maybe he doesn't have the relationship with Shiseido that he did with Serge Lutens. Read an interview once where somebody went to meet him at the Chanel like offices or something, wherever it was that he was working, and he said, the interviewer said to him like, oh, like you work for Chanel now, like have you got any plans to make like if Serge Lutens came to you and said, look, would you make as a perfume, what would you? And Christopher Sheldrake sort of like said, look, if Serge Lutens came to us and asked us to make of a perfume, how could I possibly say no? And judging by the latest releases, it's not Christopher Sheldrake who's making them anymore. That would be my money. And if it is, they're not great. And I love Christopher Sheldrake. I think Christopher Sheldrake's an absolute genius. For me, right, I don't think I've ever actually said this before, right? But for me, that Les Exclusives line is Christopher Sheldrake's work. I think Jacques Polge and Olivia Polge are like, they're the ones who execute it, but it's his vision, it's his design, it's his ideas, it's his whole thing. He's like the director of scent for them. But yeah, that's what I think. I think especially the Les Exclusives. Especially the Les Exclusives. Less so Bleu de Chanel. You're not taking credit for that. Credit. I'm not taking the blame for that. Although when Bleu de Chanel came out, sound fine, brilliant. It's just the fact that everybody else made the same fragrance. I just mean because it's impossible to become To replace one once empty, yeah. Nice style doesn't fit, says DJ. They prefer minimalist and light scents, yes. If you've ever tried stuff like Disseur, I've heard of it, but I don't think I've tried it. I might have. Yeah, Aldi's from Germany and stressful too. By the way, I compared vintage and taste with the current one again, says JP Music. And the vintage is so much better. Maybe I have the latest batch and that is just bad. Maybe it is just bad. I've got a 2019, maybe a little bit older. My Egoist is 2019. I'd have to check my Antace. I'm not sure which year that is. It could be a little bit earlier, actually. Probably have someone else making and slap his name on it with permission. What, just Christopher Sheldrake as Shares Return? I don't think he would. It's probably more romantic to have the father-son duo slapped in everything. Yes, but the father-son thing, I mean, the thing is, Olivia Sheldrake, bloody hell. Olivia Polge is worthy of being the Chanel perfumer. Technically, he's fucking brilliant, like. I just think that it's got that, I don't want to say it's got an air of nepotism about it, or like even a shadow, because he is good enough, and he is good enough to be the Chanel perfumer. He really is. I would have just preferred it if they'd gone with someone else to take over from Jacques Polge. I think Jacob made this point. I think obviously Jacob made the point a lot better than I did. As is so often the case. Jacob's very eloquent. And he knows Chanel like the back of his hand, so. But I just think that, for me, Christopher Sheldrake, you know? Speak of the devil, I just got a notification from Jacob. He's doing his Halloween. Obviously he's doing his Halloween thing. He's massive into Halloween. I'll be off here in half an hour anyway, so I'll get to watch that. But I would have gone with Christopher Sheldrake. I just think Christopher Sheldrake I think he'd be perfect for them. But he's part of a team there now, which says a lot about Jacques Polge. Because Jacques Polge had that house on his back, carried that house perfume-wise for 40 years? Since the mid-70s until the mid-2010s. Think of some of the stuff he's released. Outrageous. Oh, excuse me. Whatever it is about that Polge family, they've got tremendous noses. Because like I said, Olivia Polge is definitely worthy of being a perfumer. Like on his own work stands up. Well, Baptême de Feu is fairly easy to find. Yeah, but that's because it's fucking mental. That is an unwearable perfume. That I've got 2 bottles of that, and I'll never wear that. I don't know why I own that. It's fucking mental. Or WE, says DJ. I don't know what that means. It's raining outside like you wouldn't believe. JP Music says, by the way, Rich, watch your Eris video. I'm glad you liked Scorpio Rising. I did. Got a bottle recently and really enjoy wearing it. Good. I wouldn't buy a bottle, but I did enjoy it. I got the bottle of MXXL, or MXXX, I should say. Did an unboxing of that, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I'll be wearing that at some point. I don't know when that, like, I'm yet to suss that one out. That's got a little touch of Sundowner about it as well. That sort of chocolate ambergris sort of thing, you know? Makes sense if he is full-time at Chanel. I'm sure they have an attractive retirement package. Well, I mean, you've got to think of like the prestige that comes with being a perfumer for Chanel. I mean, there's only ever been 4, 5, 6 if you include Sheldrake, and you should really, because he's got his name on stuff like Coco Noir and that. Yeah, there's Ernst Beau, there's Henri Robert, Jacques Polge. Jesus Christ, there's only been 4. It's Ernst Beau, Henri Robert, Jacques Polge, Olivia Polge, and Christopher Sheldrake a bit. That's 5 ever, and they've been around 100 years. It's mad when you think about it, isn't it? Makes sense. Oh, sorry. Did you pick up the Scorpio Rising online or in person? Says DJ. Hey, buddy. Says Benyat. Hello, Benyat. How are you? Do you remember any details and conversations from your stream? Says JP. What do you mean, JP? Surge strikes me as a hipster craved fragrance. I wish I was into fragrances a few years back to acquire more than my one. Do you know, it's not hipsters as so much as it is people who are like beyond hipster. You know? Like, these are like the type of people whose like former employment includes being a mime. You know? Like, people who are like, there's hipster, but then there's like hipster like plus, or hipster plus, hipster XL. You know, there's just more. Some Serge Lutens are really, really far out there. And I don't mean like far out, man. I mean like, that's weird. You know? Surge Strike. Oh, sorry. Well, we will see the next Polge 3 when Sheldrake retires. Maybe there'll be Sheldrake 2. Don't say about Sheldrake retiring. That is deeply upsetting. Maybe I'll write a letter to Sheldrake. No, I'll get sent to prison. I wouldn't mind communicating with him, though. Chanel already have the Polge test tube babies ready and supermodel mother ready to turkey baste. Good Lord, DJ. JP says, DJ, I got it secondhand from Parfumo. Really lucky I was able to find it. DJ says, Marbet, MXXX, and Nightflower are the best. Green Spell is nice, but much competition. You never want to be hipster XL, says Matrax. No, you don't, you're right. Benyat says, tomorrow I'm going to have fun with the Les Indomptables Discovery set. Which do you think are the best? Vanille Van, Ambre Supreme, Rose de Jamal, and Oriental Velour, plus the 2 colognes. They're the ones I own the bottles of. JP says, do you remember any questions being asked here or conversations with the chat? Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Especially if somebody has to like prompt us. If somebody prompts, then I'll be able to remember it much better, you know? If like somebody says, oh, can you remember the time we had a conversation about, I don't know. Do you remember the time we had a conversation about making Olivia Polge the third? I'll be like, yes, I remember that stream. But if it's like about talking about the time that we discussed about how great Le Desert Marocain is, then probably not, because we talk about that a lot. You know? Depends what was talked about, what was said. I will never forget the stream when I was sick. That will haunt me until my dying days. But yes, yeah, I do remember some, like, but I don't remember everything. I remember some things. It would have to stand out. Enrique says, have you tried the Sapan Pine Tree Room Spray from Diptyque? Yes. Yes, I have. It was very nice, but I prefer the candle. The candle's immense. I really like my diptyque candles. I've got 3 unopened diptyque candles at the minute. I've got 3 unopened diptyque candles. I've got 3 unopened Dior candles. I've got 1 Dior candle I'm in the middle of using at the minute. I've got a Tom Ford candle, oud wood, and I've also got an opium candle, which Anuj very kindly found for me. But that is a little narcotic, you know? A little bit bleh, like makes you feel a little bit like sick, and I don't need that at the minute. I'm already there, you know. But the Sapan pine tree is absolutely lovely. Oof. Oh, fudge. Oh. Wish I could do candles. I like incense more, says DJ. I like incense. I've got some incense. Jura Rose is trying to wind me up. Calling them chest of drawers. It's chest of drawers. Fool. Buffoon. Madman. DJ, I'm also an incense lover. I like sandalwood incense. Phil Stevens says, what stream when you were sick? Oh, last Thursday, mate. I spewed up on stream. Very much so. Like, people could hear it through 2 walls. The doors were closed and people could still hear us. Matrax says, I remember when Rich told us how much he loves Ispazon by Parfums de Molly. Matrax, I will sue. You can call me Bond number 9 because I will sue if you say that. That is easily the worst fragrance I've ever smelled. It is rotten. Phil Stevens, I saw that message. I even read it out and answered it. Shiva says, I wanted to wear Baptem for a week in January. For a week? But the new tax deduction will be born and I will be fragrance sanctioning myself. I'm looking forward to you becoming a father. I hope you don't forget about us. Although do definitely make sure the child is like the priority. I'm sure you will. Trying to figure out what to sample after Parfum d'Empire. There's plenty of stuff out there. Any Rex, no normie stuff. Oh, God. Get in touch with Anuj. Anuj might send you some decants of some vintage stuff to try. I know that he's been wanting to do that. You could try the vintage Anna Coutels. That'll be good. Did you try Cafe Society music for a while candle yet? Not possibly, yes. Yes, I had the really cool hipsters in mind when I wrote that. The first Gen Apple people of the 80s and 90s, says Sheila. Love your lives, Rich, says Benyat. Thank you, Benyat. I like having you here. Thanks for coming. Cartier Lazure collection, pretty underrated. Is that the oud one? I know Sebastian Furtado's into Cartier at the minute, very much so. I always like watching Sebastian's videos. He's got very good taste. His taste reminds me a bit of Eugene's taste. Like Hermes, Chanel. He likes beautiful things, you know. Cartier as a house is very underrated in my opinion. No, DJ, you're absolutely spot on. Benya says, oh, the best coffee fragrance you've smelled. Follow. I know it's cliche, but can't think of a better one. New Harlem's. I really like New Harlem. I really do, especially the vintage one. I don't know about the modern one. I haven't smelled it, but the vintage one's fantastic. You know? So, Follow. Yeah, Follow's probably the best one at the minute. Followed by Kerosene. If you haven't smelled it, I'm sure you have. Or maybe you haven't, I don't know. Hi, Doug. Hello, Rachel. How are you? Because their scents are sophisticated and the layman can't really appreciate them. You're talking about Cartier still, yes. They're a good brand, Cartier. They really are. Santos is fabulous. The vintage Santos. I might wear vintage Santos tomorrow. Fuck it. At some point this week, right, I'm going to... At some point this week, I'm going to wear Rochas Femme Parfum de Toilette. It's that time. Little Song by Mayo is a great coffee scent, says JP. I haven't heard of that. Alan Hansen says, I'd say Follow by Kerosene or Awake by Acro. Rachel, your idol is Roussel. What is your opinion on Uncut Gems, says Dushan? Happy spooky day to you, sweet Rachel, says Michael. Rachel says, just checking in to say hello before our party starts in an hour. Woo! Spooky. There's a new flanker. Yes, I've seen that, Alan. It's called Followed. I was just talking about how I want to sample that, and I'm going to check out Roulia White when I leave. In fact, I might check out Roulia White now. Please give me 2 minutes. Let's have a look, friends. Roulia White, a shop in London. That's right. Let's have a look. What the hell is going on here? Turn off everything. I don't like... Just fuck off with your fucking cookies, you bastards. Fucking follow. Aha! I have got it. Oh, stalled out. You little bastards. They do a sample for £4, though. Maybe they've just got it on the website, but it's not that they don't have stock. They just haven't managed to get any bottles in yet. Lovely Femme, says Benyat. Does Kerosene sell sample sets? Yes, he does, but be warned, Pat. They come not even in dabber vials, right? They're like these little fucking tiny little vials with a cap on the top. And you have to take the cap off and turn them upside down, and they're fucking appalling. And I complained bitterly. John Pegg should know better because he was a fragrance reviewer. For everything I've heard, he's a lovely bloke, but he's dropped a fucking bollock there. I hate those things. Charge more money, but you do get about 25 in the little tin. I've lost my little tin, though. I like Canfield Cedar, but it's very hard to try them. It's very hard to try them because of the state of the little vials that come in. They're fucking awful. Put it like this, I would buy another sample set off him if he had a different presentation. If they were packaged differently. Al and I have followed on the way, says Rachel. I love Roussel and I'm afraid to try Uncut Gems, says Rachel. Matrax says a lot of Chapard fragrances are underrated as well, and I want to try some vintage Van Cleef and Arpels. Steph's, welcome to you. A lot of chapeau that have. My samples have followed from Ministry of Senses, Rachel. Ooh, Alan Hansen. Yes, you'll get various generous 2 to 3 ml spray vials, all containing a tiny flip lid candy tin. Yes, they come in the candy tin, but they must have changed since the times I got them. Rachel, don't be afraid, you can always cover it with Jagalev, says Dushan. Alan says, Rachel, excellent, and I just purchased a new coffee Oris scent called Purple Afternoon. Starts out coffee, ends up Oris and oud. I have 2 grown daughters already. At least this one won't call me for bank for a while. Uncut Gem. Best Frederick Mall fragrance, says Benyat. Only joking, says Benyat. Coffee fragrance to avoid, Ristretto Intense Cafe. Who's that by, Dushan? Hey, Rich, Rachel and friends. What's the best discovery kit you've ever bought, says Lagonda. Oh, God. Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and the wee donkey. How am I supposed to answer that? Define best. I'll buy myself some time. JP says the question is it pleasant to smell of coffee all day? Well, in this case, in Follow's case, there's enough fragrance more than just coffee. So there's amber, vanilla, creamy sort of vibe in it as well, you know, so it's really pleasant. I have Ristretto. Not very fancy, says Banya. Little Song by Mayo Fashini is a nice coffee, says Pradeep. Fragrance Journey would probably agree with you if he was here. If he likes coffee, I don't know. Best sample set? Great question. It's a very good question, to be fair. I like smelling of coffee all day, says Rachel. Yeah, actually, for someone who doesn't drink coffee, it's great. What about Awake by Acro, says Benya. It's a good fragrance as well. I just prefer Follow. And Alan has raised a fragrance here that is fantastic. I'm not the biggest Follow coffee note fan, but I do love the heavy-duty coffee fragrance, Sense of Wood, by Sense of Wood, called Oud and Bourbon, which Alan Hansen very kindly gave me a 10 ml of. And it is fucking beautiful. It really is very nice. Yes, Little Song is something fabulous, says Shiva. Benyat says, can't find Follow in Europe. You might be able to buy it off John. You might be able to buy it from the Kerosene website directly, Benyat. Lagonda says, enjoyed the most the kit that had the highest number of frags you enjoyed and maybe bought. So far, it would be the Zoologist one. Benyat, are you from Portugal, says Dushan? I think Benyat's in Barcelona or Basque Country. I don't know why I think that. Spain. I knew he was in Spain. Or he was on the peninsula. He's definitely on the peninsula. The Iberian Peninsula. Basque Country, there we go. Knew it. Ha-ha! I could tell by the name. Benyat. Kerosene only ships to North America currently, says Alan Hansen. Oh, no. Yes, that's a good point from Pradeep. The Les Indomptables sample set. The Les Indomptables sample set might be the best one. I've bought fucking 6 of them from their samples. Sampled them all first. I've been corrected. Can you hear the rain? Best sample set contenders, Amouage, Hermes, Naomi Goods. Naomi Goods is a good one as well. Both at London. Their sample set's fantastic though. Like the presentation's immense. Les Indomptables and Zoologist. JP Music says, would you mind me actively requesting you as a special guest on Les Odorants if you want to? Yeah? Okay. I don't know. I don't know if they would have us on. I don't know if they have guests on. But I like listening to it. Last time I listened to it was when I was on my way down to meet Alan Hansen. I listened to one episode on the way down and one episode on the way back up. Nearly died on the way back up. The fucking driving condition was shocking. Top 5 fougères. Oof. No idea. I could give you 5 fougères today. I could give you 5 separate ones tomorrow, and each list would be just as valid as the other. Michael says, the biggest sample set I received was from Olympic Orchids with 14 3 mLs of juice each. That's a lot of juice. Benya says, oh, hope it's not the same for me, says Benya. My wallet will suffer. Yes. Yeah, the presentation of both of it is amazing, says Rich. It really is. Alan says, recent sample sets by Original Dora and by Panadora are quite luxe. I ordered the Original Dora sample set for the 7th collection about 2 to 3 weeks ago. As soon as I got the email, ordered it. No problem. Bang. Still haven't received it. I know he's had the History of Indian Attar sample set out, but I don't know when he is going to... I don't know when he is going to actually release the perfumes. Recent sample sets by Original Dora and by Panadora are quite luxe. I think I've read that. Duck, you should go on Les Odorants. Original's latest sample set is quite luxe. I think I've read that about 3 times, haven't I? Heavy rain going on. Really calming, says JP. I'm glad you can hear it. It's better than the wind. I don't mind listening to the rain. The wind's a bit of a kick in the tits because it sounds like the mouth of hell outside my window. But the rain's really nice. That rain's sound. I like that. DJ says, listening to I can't even pronounce my own bloody name. Listening to Rich Mitch while naked in the bath as the rain hits the window, an excellent night. Oi, oi. It's a good thing I'm very comfortable with that sort of thing, right? And I am comfortable with that. You carry on. DS and Durga also have great sample sets, says JP. I really, 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 really wanted to like Bowmakers. But that polish note, somebody asked me before, are there any fragrances that give you a headache? And the polish note in Bowmakers, I really wanted to like that fragrance. I really did. And I tried, and it just fucking made us ill. Steph says, just got a few Lancaster bottles of Zeno. Any thoughts on Reform? Reform smells fantastic. It's just the performance is absolutely criminal. 2 hours from top to bottom. If that. Richie G got a bottle and he was raging. But he wasn't raging, but he was like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Richie G doesn't really get angry. But he was like, he was a bit like, what? 2 hours? Dusan says, Matrax, you should have tried there. You should have Creed, Royal Oud, Cedar, and Amouage Jubilation 25. Matrax, do you like Houbagon Fougère Royale? I can't tell you how much Bois Noir smells like Fougère Royale. It really does. Maybe a bit better. Which makes me think, do I actually want a bottle of Bois Noir? You know? Do I actually want a bottle of Bois Noir? Maybe. Maybe not. Because I just sold a bottle of Fougère Royale. I dedicate this bum cheek scrub to you. Ah, fabulous. Alan wants to know about this naked in the bath thing. Giggity. Oh, there is a flanker of follow, says Ben. Yet there is a flanker followed with more caramel, indeed. Matrax, do you like Fougere Royale, says Duchan. Matrax says, I tried Fate Man from Amouage and stopped. That was it. One and gone. Strange sample purchase. I ordered a single 2ml of Irish shot from Olfactive Studios for €5 years ago and received 8 in a cotton pouch. Nice. Matrax says Fate Woman is very, very good sheepra. And yes, Fougere Royale is amazing. Okay, friends, it's that time of evening again, the time when I go. I've just started feeling better, I wouldn't care. I've just started to pick up, but I'm going to go now. It has been 2 hours. Joey Cannoli is streaming. Jacob is streaming. I would direct you to either of those two people if you wish to continue with the night's festivities, unless you are going out to haunt some people. We haven't had anybody here tonight. Nobody's come to be spooked by me mother at the door. But not to worry. Thank you very much, friends. I appreciate it greatly. Thank you to everybody who liked and commented and just watched or lurked or listened in the bath and wiped their arse. Thank you. Thank you for those who donated too. I will be saying thanks in a minute. Cheers, everybody. I will see you soon. Goodbye.